Boom! Hello, everybody. Doing a live thing here because I just did one on my beauty channel, business page, whatever you want to look at it as. And was this supposed to go with this? Sorry, I'm just confused of what I'm doing. Anyway, and I wanted to come over here and give you some updates on some things. So today is Sunday, and we've been crazy. This past week has been crazy, and so I wanted to give you guys an update and explain some things that happened last week and kind of just give you a visual update on all of the stuff that's happened. So, hi. Last week, Mom and I stayed in the hotel in Madison, and it was okay. It is literally down the hill from the hospital, which is totally awesome that it's so close. We are able to get the shuttle straight from the... What is my hair doing? Sorry. This is going to bug me. Anyway, it is straight from the hotel to the hospital. So we're literally shuttled like 4 minutes up the hill to the hospital every day. So we just are already on the list for next week, so that's cool. The first week we didn't know what we were doing really, so we didn't book it in advance. This week we're more prepared, so everything is set up in advance for that. But everybody at the hotel was really sweet and really nice, and we have a room on the first floor. We know where we're going. It's a nice room, easily accessible for us, works really well for us. So yeah, all of that stuff is good. Everybody's been really sweet, really understanding, really helpful. So now comes the hard parts. It is easy to feel exhausted and overwhelmed through this process because, you know, we're dealing with cancer. Cancer is big. It's a big deal. It's exhausting. It's maddening. It's hard on us. It's hard on Mom. The side effects that we thought we weren't going to have to deal with or think about until after the second week started to show up a little bit in week 1 already. So that was kind of shocking and whoa. There are also a lot of nerves that created some extra problems that we weren't anticipating. We were really tired, but had a hard time sleeping. So that was kind of difficult. So, you know, Mom and I have been dealing with a hard time sleeping. It's hard to be away from home. It's hard missing the cats. It's hard just kind of being away from friends and family. Aw, hey Josh. Good to see you. We're so glad that, you know, you guys have been so supportive, and we appreciate it so much, and we love you guys so much. You're so sweet and so kind. You're the best. We think about you guys often. And we tried to send your mom a Christmas card, but somehow we must have gotten the address wrong or something. It came back to us. So we wanted to call and let her know that we tried to send it, but it came back. And then by the time that happened, we haven't had time to like try to resend it. So like we are going to try to do that, but we just haven't had the time yet because we've been at the hospital, and then like we've only had like a day home. So we haven't quite gotten that figured out yet, but like we are thinking of her, and we did try to send it. That's happened to us like 2 or 3 times now. It was her card. It was our card to a cousin on Grampy's side of the family that lives in California, that was returned to us too. And we're like, wait, but we thought we like wrote it down right. So I don't know if we were just one digit off or something. I don't know. We've been having some issues. I will totally do that after I get this update done, because seriously, Mom was like, wait, why are all these cards coming back? Like, it was a thing. It was a thing in the car. And of course, like we got the mail like on our way to Madison, which is an hour away. So it was like no time to fix things. But so some of the symptoms started to look at me. See, like I'm itching and this isn't coming off. I love this stuff. All right. Anyway, the ride in the car and stuff is taking a little bit of a toll on Mom, because I know everybody wants the updates on like how's Mom doing. In and out of the cars and stuff is really hard on her knees because of the degenerative arthritis. I know like I'm touching my knees, like you guys can see my knees, but so she's just really sore because to get onto the treatment table, she has to stand on, because it's really high up, right? So she stands on this kind of like electronic lift thing, and then they lift her up, and then she sits on it, and then they have to get her into position, and they have to manipulate her body in these really uncomfortable positions. So her body is like contorted and all these different positions and stuff so they can do the radiation beam. And so her joints and her muscles are just all so very sore. And then she has to, position herself on the table so she can get back on it. So then they can lower her back down to the ground. And then she has to get back in her wheelchair. And they have to wheel her to me. Then I have to push her. And we don't have the feet on the wheelchair because they have her legs in an uncomfortable position. So she's holding her legs up, which now holding her legs up make her legs tired. So we're trying to figure out a good solution to that. So that's becoming a problem. So we're trying to figure out whether we put the feet back on the wheelchair or not. So that's kind of becoming a thing. We're trying to figure that out. And then it's in and out of the vehicles, and the shuttle is a really, really good, vehicle. In other words, it's not too high up for her, but it's still kind of difficult getting in and out of a vehicle every day, all the time, with her knees and stuff. And it's just a lot more walking, excuse me, I have a bit of cat hair on me, thanks to my cat Autumn. Like to the bathroom, from the bathroom, and stuff like that. Like it's a lot of extra stuff on her body, and with her feeling so much more fatigued and sore from all the manipulation and just all of the pain in general, and then the lack of sleep and stuff. She's just very tired. And then of course there's all the side effects from the radiation itself, such as the burning sensation and the severe nausea and stuff, which, speaking of which, I have to send a quick message just because I'm thinking about it. And I'll send that message to you too, Josh, in just a second. Sorry, I just had to send a message to to my boyfriend really quick, reminding him to add something to the list that I had forgotten that's really important for this next week, just in case he hasn't gone shopping. And if he has gone shopping, if he could put that in really quickly, because it's kind of a vital thing that we sort of need for next week, just in case. Anyway, so yeah, so it's been pretty rough. There were some times when Mom was feeling really nauseous, and I felt really bad about that, and I was really happy that we had what kind of saved the day, I think, are these Starlight mints. When you're feeling nauseous, a peppermint, man. Peppermint can totally save the day. I pulled one of these babies out, and she said it helped. So how glad was I that I had this in my purse. I tell you, you could never go wrong with having one of those, right? Like, peppermint for the win. So that's been really good. Unfortunately, the one that we're staying in, they're renovating their pool right now, which stinks. But there is one that her primary doctor was thinking about maybe doing some physical therapy in sometime down the road. So maybe maybe like in the spring or something, that might be a thing. So we'll have to see how that rolls. Right now it's just, we're all so focused on this. But yeah, that is one of the things that her primary did bring up. But then we were so inundated with this with the cancer thing, and then we got off track because the one guy was basically fat shaming. And then, we had to kind of fire him and find somebody who was actually willing to treat her, because he was basically just saying, well, you did this to yourself, the end. And we were like, okay, so how are we going to actually treat this? You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man. Are you going to sit there and make us feel bad? Or are we going to, like, go somewhere? With this, I mean, do you have some sort of point, or are you just going to be rude? So then we actually found people that were willing to speak with us and talk to us and want to actually help and be human beings. And once that happened, we've just been so inundated with appointments and what's the plan and what can we do and all of those kind of things on our journey that we kind of got away from that aspect of things. But yeah, definitely it's something that has come up. We have thought about it, because yeah, it would be nice, because right now she's doing the thing that her primary and I have been trying to wean her off, but we really can't because she gets so stiff. She has a high dependency on Advil, and nobody's happy about that because they're very worried about her. Does that hurt your kidneys or your liver? I can't remember which one it is, but they're very concerned about how much Advil she consumes per day with that. So we're kind of trying to wean her off the dependency on that and trying to see about alternative options to help her feel better. One step at a time. Yeah, that's our goal here. That is definitely our goal here. We're going into week 2. Week 1 was rough, but they're very, very efficient. They're very, very nice. They're very accommodating and helpful at the hospital. They're very very good at what they do. They're very, very hopeful. She was very concerned by some things that she read on the American Cancer Society's website. So I said, well, if you have concerns, let's contact the team. So we went, we went to their her care team's page, and we emailed them, and they called her back that night and told her that her concerns were valid, and then they told her why they thought that she could overcome those things and why, she didn't need to be worried. Pot is illegal in the state of Wisconsin. So a lot of people have said they would send her some and that she could have some, and we said, we don't want to go to jail. So the reason that pot hasn't been on the table is because nobody wants to go to prison amidst all of this, or just sit in a cell for a while. But we've had lots of people offer to send us some. Actually, a friend of a friend is actually is in a state where it's legal, or was legal. I don't know what the state of legalized marijuana is these days, but he actually had a successful business with it, and he was going to send a substantial amount of it. And I was like, well, not in this state, you're not, sir. So, yeah, my boyfriend Jared was very like, yeah, no, we do not want to be dealing with the law enforcement in this manner, and kind of put the kibosh on that. But, and then there were some friends from France that were suggesting that. They've given her some traditional pain medication, but Aunt Jane has kind of scared her a bit, and talking about some things that Laura went through in terms of pain meds and some different things. And so she's very leery to get into the traditional pain meds. So she hasn't really taken any of her pain meds at all. She's been going cold turkey and just kind of suffering through, because she doesn't want to deal with the side effects of them. So she has just been soldiering through without pain meds at all to this point. She's decided that she doesn't want any medications that take away her control, I think, is pretty much what I'm getting at this point. So she's refused them all. I did get a promise that if it got so bad she felt she couldn't stand it, that she would take them. But so far, despite some situations where I felt she was there, she hasn't. So we'll see what happens. I've tried, several medical professionals have tried, several friends have tried to convince her to take some pain medication, and she has not. So we have tried to get that rolling, but she's stubborn and she's a trooper, and she has decided not to go there. So we are going tonight back to the hotel, and then treatment resumes tomorrow morning bright and early. We get the shuttle at 9 sharp, and then treatment resumes at 9:30 if they're not late. And then we will come back to the hotel and then start making some phone calls and try to see about arrangements for what's going on for week 3, because so far we do not know if we will have any financial assistance whatsoever for weeks 3 and beyond in terms of the hotel. Because so far, weeks 1 and 2, we've gotten financial assistance from the cancer wing of the hospital, have paid for our hotel accommodations, except for Sunday into Monday and Friday into Saturday. We've paid out of pocket for those. However, We are unsure what is going to happen from weeks 3 through 7 or 8. We're still unsure how many weeks it's going to be because they haven't told us how long the brachytherapy is going to go yet, because they haven't worked out that schedule yet either. So we're kind of waiting in the wings, hanging on for that. So we're going to be making those phone calls on Monday. So Monday is going to be a really big, huge jump start into the week, because we're going straight into, oh my goodness, we're going back to treatments, and then straight from the hotel we're going to be into what can we work out financially for the hotel so we have a place to stay on week 3, and then figuring out in our budget what can we afford to do for week 3, and then working out with the hotel our part in it and what we can afford and stuff. And we've been really, really lucky that the out-of-pocket stuff that we have done has not been entirely out of our pocket. We have had a lot of funding come from the fundraising that we have done through first the Operation Nina Marathon that raised quite a bit of money, and then the GoFundMe that we still have going has raised quite a bit of money to help Mom. There have been a lot of offline and online donations that have come in from friends and family, and we've been very, very fortunate. The hotel really has not given us discounts on our hotel accommodations. They've given the hospital discounts, but they haven't given us discounts, just because the hotel has had more times that they've paid for than we have, because we're doing the bookend days. So it's been a thing. So a lot of our fundraising money is getting eaten up. There were the cab rides for the pre-testing before treatment started. There have been the hotel accommodations. There has been some groceries that have had to be purchased. There were some supplies that needed to be purchased. So a lot of the funds that we have raised have been eaten into already. And there were some bills and different things, and so a lot of our funding has already been eaten into, and continue to be eaten into. So we're continually fundraising, which is not a bad thing. We're sorry. So working on that, and also paying paying some things out of our own personal pocket, like saving up some of our money in addition to paying the regular normal bills, so that we're prepared in case the fundraising funds run out and we need to have some of like our own money go into it, because there are so many weeks left and we can't count on all of those things to be able to see us through. So we're still kind of doing the fundraising thing, and we're still kind of seeing where all these things go. So that's what this week primarily is going to be, figuring out the next couple of weeks and how we're going to make the hotel work. Going into week 2 of treatment and getting Mom, in and out of the shuttle, and I wheel her personally down to her treatment, and then they wheel her into the treatment. I'm not allowed to go in, and then they bring her back out, and then I wheel her back up, and then I wheel her to the shuttle, and then she gets in, and then I wheel her from the shuttle to our room. And then we hang out pretty much in the room. Sorry, somebody keeps sending me messages. So that takes a lot out of me, but it's totally worth it, and it's totally worth it for her to be getting better. And then we're going to be looking into all those things and then trying to stay sane and happy and healthy. And then usually we have lunch, and then eventually dinner. She doesn't have a lot of an appetite, which I know she thinks that I am horrible, because on days when she especially feels horrible from treatments, I'm always saying, hey, Mom, you're supposed to have a certain amount of vegetables. You're supposed to have a certain amount of fruit. Hey, let's have this. And she's like, no, food, I can't. Don't stop. No. And I'm like a monster. I'm like, you've got to eat the food. You need the nutrients. And so I'm saying, like, she needs to have a full bladder before her testing. So, like, a half hour before we leave, I'm like, here's a big cup of juice. Have juice, because juice has nutrients in it. So here you're having a full bladder and some nutrients here. And she's not thrilled with me for that. And she's not necessarily thrilled with me saying, like, let's have a salad, or like, let's have a sandwich. How about some PB&J? Or, like, let's have like a ham and cheese, or like, let's do something fun. We're going to be getting some interesting, cool things coming up here soon. Let me see. I have to kind of remember what the list is for this week, because I forget. We're getting her some Greek yogurt this time around with some blueberry yogurt, which I think is awesome. We're going to be getting some soups. We finally remembered some soup, because we had intended to do soup last week, but then we just forgot it. We're getting some Powerade for me again, because I had some Powerade because I really need it for the electrolytes, and I am all about it. It's going to be very heavily about soup this week. And we're going to be getting more juice and some snacks. I'm going to be getting her some Jell-O, some pudding as a treat to go. Like, that's kind of like the trade-off that I've kind of come up with, is like, okay, if we can get through the meal part, like if you do the sandwich or the soup or the whatever that you really don't want to have, and you're getting the nutrients and you're getting that down, like if you go through that, how about a pudding or like a Jell-O? And then, like, she's like, okay. So we found that combo works, but like not every single time, but like once every couple days, and that works kind of really well. And then we get into like a little groove going, a nice happy groove. So that's kind of the thing that we found really works. And so we're going to be getting like some stew things going on, some tomato soup going on, some vegetable soup, some chicken noodle soup. Just some different things. Well, she's been doing pretty good. I mean, she gives me a little bit of a little bit of a trouble on some days, but she ends up doing it. And, she may be a little cranky sometimes, but she ends up doing it. And she's been very good. She's been very good for the most part. And we found some things that I think are more appetizing for her. this time around. We've got some soups, and we're going to get some like plastic bowls, you know, like the sturdy disposable ones. And we're going to be getting her Greek yogurt that she likes with the blueberries, and that'll be very good. And I think just last time we really weren't thinking about, you know, the fact that it is hard for her to eat, and that, you know, maybe we should get some things that are more, you know, friendly and you know, different things like that. So I think this week we're more prepared for, you know, the whole entire thing. I think we're more prepared for what kinds of things will be better on her stomach too, because some things were really bad. Like when I made her salad, I put bell peppers in, and that was a totally big mistake because that really upset her stomach and was a really big no-no situation. So we kind of decided, okay, no more peppers ever. So then I was like the guinea pig person who had to like consume all these peppers and get them out of there, because peppers were a no-no. Peppers were like the hugest, biggest, worst mistake ever in the history of the universe, and I should have known better. And it was like a nightmare situation, and sorry for like leaning down, but I had to put some cosmetics that I did in my other live feed for my business away. But yeah, I had to cut that out. That was a big no-no, stupid, what are you thinking, girl moment. So I ate those so that they were gone, and I will do that. I will do that. She might be in here still, maybe. And we will try to get that Christmas card to you. Like I said, the one from Denny, which was Grampy's cousin, I think, and the one from you came back. And literally, they were both in the mailbox right when we were going to start her treatment. And she was like so sad. And I was like, well, we don't have time to fix it and to figure it all out. And then we were like at the hotel, so there was nothing that we could do because all of our supplies and stuff were here. And, you know, it was a big mess. But so we've been just trying to like sort all the things out, because we only have like about a little, it's like from Saturday morning until Sunday night we're here at Mom's house. And then the rest of the time we're either traveling to the hotel we're in Madison the rest of the time. And we're either settling in, or we're in the middle of treatments, or we're trying to recover from treatments, or we're doing something. And so we're trying to figure this whole thing out, or we're like battling to figure out like how are we going to make all of this work, or I'm trying to work on my business and Mom's trying to rest, or, you know, we're trying to work all the logistics out. Like, I don't think since we've been back in Dodgeville, we've done like literally 4 or 5 loads of laundry. I sat down, I think doing these live streams today, because I did the thing for my business, I did this. These 2 things are the most that I've sat down, other than sleeping, since we got here. Because I've just been up and down, up and down, up and down. Then the cat went missing, so it was like, oh my God, where did she go? She was missing for hours this morning. So we were scouring the house trying to find her. I still don't know where she was hiding, but she's just randomly emerged and was like, oh, hi, I'm here. So that was a thing. But cat was found, so that gave us a heart attack this morning. And then the smoke alarm keeps beeping because the battery's dying, and so I called my boyfriend. Does that mean that it's carbon monoxide? No, it just means it's dying. I'll fix it when I get there, but he's not going to be here till tonight. So literally the whole entire time we've been here has been that thing just beeping in our ear. I tell you, it's been crazy. It has been insane since we got home. You have like no idea. So I think this has been the most enjoyable sitting on the couch, just relaxing thing. Like you can see the comforter. Like I've been sleeping on the couch because the spare bed isn't as comfy as this couch, believe it or not. So like I just camp out on mom's couch when I'm here. Plus it's like the mecca of everything. So I'm just like, I'll just chill on, your couch. It's fine. It'll be good. So I've just been camping on mom's couch. And in the next few weeks, we'll take down our Christmas tree. We still haven't taken down the Christmas tree yet. And I've just kind of been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, just trying to do things. A really, really sweet, nice thing that mom came home to is yesterday when we came home, waiting at the door was a package from her godmother, Mrs. O'Sullivan, who was Granny's best friend, so my mom's best friend. She sent like a care package for mom, so there were like some face cloths and some stationery and a really nice thing of soap that has like a nativity on it and a candle and some lotion in it. So mom was really touched and moved, and there was like a card, and she was just so moved to have this like care package. So she called her and thanked her and got to speak with her. And so that was just so lovely to come home to that, and it was really unexpected and very sweet. So they got to speak for a few minutes, and so she made a few phone calls and got to talk to a few people and different things yesterday. So that was really nice for her. And then mostly she just rested because, all of the traveling and not feeling well and stuff just really started to take a toll. And some new symptoms developed between the time she woke up yesterday morning and the time we traveled from Madison to Dodgeville, which is about an hour. A little bit more because we stopped to get breakfast, and then it took a little while to get into the house because we wanted to kind of corner off the cats before we came in, because we knew that the door was going to be open for a little bit for mom to get in and then to bring in like all the luggage and stuff and that kind of thing. So we cornered them off first, and then we brought the luggage in and had mom come in and all that kind of stuff. So it took a kind of little while, and then and then my boyfriend stayed for a little while, and then he had to leave because he had to go to work. And between all of that time, some new symptoms surfaced and stuff. So she was just beat and tired and exhausted and just not feeling well at all. So it's been a really rough week. And going into week 2, it's probably, they said starting week 2, it gets a lot rougher and you start to feel a lot sicker. So we are preparing for we're preparing for it to get pretty rough. We have taken some precautionary things. They have an anti-nausea medicine that she takes before her treatments, and she said that she's feeling pretty nauseous anyway. So they said that if she continues to feel really nauseous after her treatment, she can take another one, but they would like her to hold off unless she feels like she absolutely needs it. So I suspect that this week she may absolutely need it. And not to TMI people too much, but we're going to invest this week in a bucket just in case. And like I said, the champion of this week was the wonderful and amazing Starlight Mints, because they help with nausea and upset stomach so well in a pinch, and this saved the day this week. So I have a ton of them in my purse, so I have them on hand just in case. I have quite a few on hand, so I'm gonna have those with me, and we're gonna have the bucket, and we're gearing up for this week. So week 2 is going to be intense, but we're hoping that it will be successful and that she will feel better. And I'm going to have my Powerade, because I'm telling you, Powerade makes me feel so much better, because the doctors were really worried about me with this whole passing out thing. But I've been keeping myself really well hydrated, and so far so good. I haven't passed out on her. So that's a blessing. That's a really good blessing that I have not had a passing out episode since this started, which, with me being so stressed out and everything, it could have been really bad. But thankfully, I'm very thankful for this. It has not happened, and the Powerade has helped me a lot, and some different breathing techniques that my doctor gave me and different things seem to be helping. And the eating more balanced, because I was just skipping, like not eating breakfasts, not really eating lunch, only eating dinner kind of thing. And I think having a kind of more balanced thing where, like, maybe I won't eat breakfast, but at least I'll have something to drink, and then I'll have like lunch, and then I'll have dinner, and I'll drink consistently through the day. Like, having that happen and the more activity, like, it seems to be balancing me out, and I'm not overheating even though I'm doing more exercise, if that makes sense. It seems to be helping my body chemistry out and level out, because I was just like overheating and passing out and feeling dizzy and all these other different things. So I think we're starting to get a handle on things, although they still want me to have a bunch of different testing, and like I'm supposed to be having a Holter monitor. I'm supposed to be wearing it currently, but we just didn't have enough time to pick it up and set it up, and I just knew that I couldn't be wearing a Holter monitor and going through all of that kind of stuff and be dealing with mom stuff at the same time. So we've kind of put that on hold until mom stuff is dealt with. So we're dealing with one thing at a time. So we're going to finish my testing after her stuff is done. So that's kind of the way we've decided to go about it. But so far so good. Like I said, I haven't had a really, really, really bad episode so far. With me, I've been pretty good. So I've had a couple close calls. There was one kind of gnarly one, but thankfully we got to a bench in time. So I sat down and had a few deep breath moments and sat at the bench, and we were right by the exit of the hospital. So it was like the cool air was on me, and that helped me like calm down and not overheat. And then the shuttle was there, to take us to the hospital, and then we got to the hospital and all that stuff. So it was really good. Well, thank you very much. That's a very sweet thing for you to say. We're doing pretty good. We're hanging in there, and we're taking things one step at a time. Definitely taking things one step at a time. And Mom is being a real trooper. She's being very, very brave. Very stubborn when it comes to the pain meds. She's refusing them all. And they gave her an anti-anxiety medication, and she's refusing that. So she's refusing anything that she feels will take her out of her control. She doesn't want to have to deal with side effects, basically. She's being very stubborn. And her doctors have all told her that they're very low doses, and it's just basically to relieve her of her discomfort. But no matter what they or I or anybody says, she's being very stubborn and she will not budge. So we epically fight on these points over and over and over and over again. Other than that, and other than her fighting me on having to eat at every turn, she's doing pretty good. And she ends up caving and eating and then being a little cranky with me, but she does it. And she tries to get out of her appointments and her treatments, but then in the end she does them. So it's really hard and it's really rough, and I give her a lot of credit because no matter how hard or rough or scary it gets, she's doing it. And she's a lot tougher than I think she even realizes she is. So I'm very proud of her. Have a great day, Josh. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it so much, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was so good to see you. And just know that you're in our thoughts all the time also. And give that wonderful, awesome, amazing husband of yours a great big hug for us. And give your fur baby some cuddles for us too, because they are adorable. Oh, and may I just take this moment to say that my mother was hysterical. She had an entire shuttle full of people laughing hysterically because we were sitting in the shuttle on the way home from the hospital, and she starts talking about how some people like to go to the gym and have their time at the gym be naked gym time. And then she asked the shuttle driver if he would ever go to the gym naked and work out naked, and if he would prefer that. Just randomly in front of a whole bunch of strangers. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And she's just like, you make me eat and uncomfortable. I have to say things like that in the shuttle to make you uncomfortable. It all evens out. It's a mother's job to embarrass their kid. And I'm just like, oh my God, Mom, I cannot believe you just did that. What is the world coming to? Oh my goodness. Like, what? Like, really? Like, Mom. But yeah, she did that. For real. Forever and ever, amen. In front of a whole bunch of people. There were like literally like three other people. Yeah, she says she was very entertaining. She tries to be very entertaining, yeah. So then she was just saying, and so then she was being self-deprecating about how she should never go and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God, don't use this as an opportunity to be down on yourself either. Like, that's not right. And it just became a whole thing. It was crazy. I was just like, oh my gosh, can we please get to the hotel so I can just skedaddle and go hide in the hotel room? The one thing that I can think was really cool about that day, though, was then we got back to the hotel room and there was a Forensic Files marathon, which I'm obsessed with that show. I think science is cool. Science just makes me happy. I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo. I love science. I don't know. And Mom actually watched it with me for a little while, which made me happy because usually she just ignores me and does things on her laptop and is just playing a game. She's playing Candy Crush or something like that. But no, she was actually down. She was actually with me. She was actually happy to watch a show with me for a while. We were talking about how ridiculous the one guy was because it was very obvious he killed his wife. And he was so ridiculous into thinking that, they weren't going to figure it out. I mean, he thought that she was cheating on him. And so he literally, like, broke the glass from the inside. Like, dude, What robber is going to open the door with the key and then break the glass from the inside? Of course the investigators are going to figure out you did it, man. You're the only other person other than her that has a key, doofus. Like, he just was not very good at covering his tracks, which was fantastic for the people that need to solve this case, because obviously you just made their job easy. And great for the victim because she gets her justice. But just, I mean, the dude was just, I mean, and his reasoning for doing it, I thought she was cheating on me. Well, in the end, not only was she not cheating on him, she still loved the bozo and was very upset that they were broken up. And I don't know why, because, I mean, obviously, he was a not nice person who ended up killing her. It was a very depressing story. It was a very depressing episode, to be honest with you, but it was just ridiculous. Anyway, happier things, much happier things. I am all packed and ready for tonight. I have the birthday presents wrapped underneath the Christmas tree. Yes, this is what we do. I know that we're kind of weird people, but Mom's birthday is on February 1st, and my birthday is January 29th. So what we have always done is that since our birthdays are after Christmas and we love Christmas so much, is we would keep the Christmas tree up until after Mom's birthday. Well, first of all, I'm not a sir. And second of all, no, it's not. Um, and so we would um, we would put our birthday presents underneath the tree, and then we would huh? I don't know. Anyway, so we would put our birthday presents underneath the Christmas tree, and we would leave the Christmas tree up until after her birthday. So I have successfully wrapped all of the birthday presents so that they'll be there once we are done with treatments and everything. So hopefully, our birthdays are during the week, so probably on the weekend when we're home, um, we will do that. Um, and we'll celebrate those days. No, what I was talking about, which if you were actually paying attention to what I was talking about instead of having a conversation with yourself, you would notice. Um, moving on. From now on, anyway, it has been lovely talking to all the friends and family who came to be supportive of me giving an update on my mom and her radiation treatments and her getting well and her journey with cancer, and an update on our life and things that matter and not things that don't matter. And people being ridiculous and shameful, and people who need to learn about respect and life and self-dignity. So with that, I'm going to end for today. I hope that you had a really good day and that you continue to have a really good day. I hope that you go out and do things that are meaningful to you and that put some good out into the world. And I hope that you all have a really good week, and I will give you guys updates when I can, either from my phone or next week again from the computer when I'm back at the computer. And just remember that when you're around negativity, you can either feed it or you can move on and continue to do what you're doing and focus on the things that matter. And that's a choice that you can actively make. And it's up to you, the way that you behave and the way that you conduct yourself. So you have the choice on whether or not you act like a decent human being or if you act like an idiot. And it's all yours. And apparently, a lot of people would rather be ignorant, and that's their choice. Anyway, I hope that everyone has a good week moving forward and learns something substantial and has a good week.